This video will review RE Applications version 4.0 availabilities. Within this video, we will cover adding an availability from an existing property record and adding an availability from the menu. When you're working with an existing property in your database, if you have that property record open, you will have the ability to turn the entire record into an availability or just a piece of it. Under the availability/comps link, if I click the new button, which is the green circle with the white plus in the middle, it's going to open up a wizard. I'm going to type in the deal name. At the time you're creating this, you have the ability to apply a template to it. You can also link it to a master assignment. I'm going to hit the continue button. This now is going to open up the edit property tab. Here's the property information, and I have the ability to edit any of this information that I would like. I don't want to edit anything, so I'm just going to go down to the very bottom and hit continue. This now loads a list of all of the existing spaces within the building. If you want to list the entire property, you're going to click list the entire property. If you want to create a new space, you're going to create a new space. If you want to select one of the spaces that already exist, you just click on select space. And now you're going to enter in your availability details. Very few of these fields are required. The only required fields are yellow and have an asterisk next to them. The more information you put in, the more complete of an availability you're going to have. Once you get your information entered in, you can hit continue, and now it's going to allow you to enter in the contacts for this particular availability. Primary salesperson and project manager are going to default to the person who's logged in adding the record. If you're adding a record for somebody else, go to the pull down and just choose the person who asked you to add the record. And now you're going to come down and add all of the contacts related to this particular person. I do a search for my broker. If this is the person I'm looking for, I hit the word select to the left of their name. If the person doesn't exist, here's the new button that allows me to add a new contact right from here. I'm going to hit select. I want this person's name to be visible on the client reports, and I need to add another broker as well. So I hit the add button. This is the person I'm looking for, so I'm going to hit the word select to the left of their name. And I can continue to do this and add as many people as I want just by hitting the add button. You will have the ability to do that with each one of the different contacts. Once you've added all of your contacts, hit continue. This now takes you to the Project Settings tab. By default, every single one of your availabilities is going to be managed as a project. If you don't want to manage this record as a project, simply change yes to no and go right past these screens. If you do want to continue to manage this as a project, you leave that on yes. And now come down and choose the deal type, the status. The more information you put, the more complete of a record you're going to have, but these fields are not required. I'm going to hit continue. If you are tracking your pipeline or your projected revenues on a particular availability, here's where you can enter in that information under the pipeline tab. Once you've entered in the information, hit continue. and this takes us to the deal share. This allows you to split up the money that you've indicated under the pipeline tab. Who's getting a piece of this money on their pipeline? By default, the primary salesperson is getting 100%. If you want to add somebody else, you choose their name, their business line, and how much they're responsible for. You will need to go back into the primaries and change it so the deal share doesn't equal more than 100%. Once you've entered in the information you want, hit continue. This now takes you to the permissions. More often than not, you will leave this exactly the way it is by default. But this will allow you to make your availability that you're entering private to you, and anyone else you choose to share it with. By default, it's going to be visible to everybody internally within the company, but those internal people will not be able to edit your record. They will only be able to view it. Once you've adjusted the permissions, if you want, you're just going to hit finish. And here's the available industrial space we created from an existing property. If you want to create an availability and there's not a property that already exists, underneath the properties link, you can click on the new button next to availabilities. This is going to open up that same wizard. I give it a deal name, I hit continue, and now this takes us to the properties. This is going to allow us to enter in the property information. As I start to type in the property information, it's doing a search on the right-hand side. If any of these records are for the availability you're trying to create, you simply hit the word select or just click on it. If the record doesn't exist, you're going to continue just to enter in information. Once you've entered in all the property information, go down to the bottom and hit continue. This now allows you to list the entire property or create a space. Now I can enter in the space details. Once you get in all the details, you're going to hit continue at the bottom, and now enter in the availability details. As you go through and enter in information, you're going to go to the bottom and hit continue, and it's going to take you to the very next tab. Very few of these fields are required. The more information you put in, the more complete of a record you will have. For additional information, contact the help desk at 626-803-5195.